Hi, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we'll be taking a look at how Xavi has created a successful system in order for the system to flourish, doesn't matter who the players are. But before we do get into the video, please don't forget to subscribe and actually put on the notification bell so that you can be notified when we drop a video. I want to thank each and every one of you guys who've been supporting the channel. But in this video, like I said, we will check out to see, doesn't matter the injuries, Barcelona still seem to flourish. Let's get right into the video.
Xavi is really building something special at Barcelona. He's now creating a system where it doesn't matter who plays, where the system will prevail. For an example, nowadays teams basically rely on personnel. If they have, for an example, like a ball-playing centre-back who's good at long balls, they tend to bypass their usual principles and go long into the wingers or even into the number 9. But with Xavi, it's different. Even when Barcelona has like a good ball-playing centre-back, they would still follow the same principle where they would actually split wide of the goalkeeper in order to draw the opposition into a press. This never changes because this is the system of Barcelona. Should a team decide to actually press Barcelona in the man-to-man structure, he has Ter Stegen to bail the team out. But even in this case, then only they would be going long. But even though if they can go along with Ter Stegen's ball-playing ability, Xavi always wants to find the fullbacks from the goalkeeper. But then again, Barcelona also have the double pivot who can split on either side of each other and where they could be easy options, which eventually would draw the opposition into a higher press up top. Now, this is impossible for the opposition to be able to mark all Barcelona players unless they go into a man-to-man press. But even then, with the involvement and the ability of Ter Stegen, Barcelona has a numerical advantage almost everywhere on the pitch. This would actually now draw the opposition higher in order to be able to mark Barcelona effectively. Another thing that is set in stone with Xavi is the fact that the centre-backs are all operating in the normal positioning, where Xavi wants to have a clear indication and a clear plan for each of the players to follow. Where most of the teams, especially at Manchester City, you would actually have one of the fullbacks inverting. But Xavi opts for more controlling because you're going to need a great inverted fullback that has great ball playing ability, which Barcelona at the moment not really have. That is why Xavi actually wants to have the likes of Gavi inverting into midfield to have that midfield 4, where Xavi actually preferred to have Alejandro Balde as a winger. So the persistence of Xavi actually having these people in their normal positioning is a clear way of the tiki-taka that Barcelona follows. Xavi would rather have Alejandro forward, and if Barcelona struggles, he will have enough midfielders to allow the likes of Frenkie de Jong to be able to play in between the fullback and the left centre-back or the right centre-back. He never really had Sergio Busquets in these positions because of Busquets' line-breaking passes that he's able to do. This is all the rules that Xavi follows each of the games, and doesn't matter who plays. If this could be Kessie, the same thing would happen. Kessie would actually drop into the midfield as well. This is why Barcelona keeps on winning. Doesn't matter if it's Pedri playing, Frenkie de Jong or Jules Koundé, whatever the case may be, whoever Christensen. Xavi actually has a system in place where the system has to prevail no matter the cost. Even if Barcelona have to involve Marc-Andre Ter Stegen, or even if Frenkie de Jong or Sergio Busquets has to drop in between the centre-backs, he always wants to have the positional play because that is what will prevail at the end, and he's not budging and is not banking on players to create his system or make his system work. That is what good managers do, finding a system to be able to prevail and not having specific players or need specific players in specific positions to be able to flourish in a system or let a system then flourish. And this is what we have to appreciate from Xavi. In all honesty, it does seem that Barcelona does look like they are a little bit lopsided. That is why we see them having more support on the right side. That's why most of the goals and assists have come from the side of Rafinha. Not specifically the game against Elche, but the previous games. That's why Rafinha has been successful so many times. He has been receiving the ball more on this side rather on the other side. Alejandro Balde also have racked up a few assists, but most of the play has gone to Rafinha. That is because an extra defender is actually here that can draw a player out, which when the ball goes to Rafinha, he's one-on-one with the player in this position right here. Now this hasn't changed. That's why we see the likes of Xavi or Frankie would actually go into the opposition's half in this region right here, where they could receive the ball to be able to draw a player out. But unfortunately, we don't have a player that's good in one-on-one in that position. Alejandro Balde is still growing, so he will definitely be able to pick that up. Now, what is the similarities or what is the consistencies in Xavi's game plan? That is the fact that the free H would actually go over to this side, and you will see that they have a 3 versus 2 numerical advantage on both sides right here, where they can circulate the ball and drop the opposition wherever they want to. Supporting runs by Robert Lewandowski in order to be able to drag the whole opposition side to the opposite side, where they have to come and defend in narrow. With this free 8 actually going up higher, you have them now even more frequently going narrow. This is where the switching to Rafinha is totally visible and optional, where he could do damage by crossing or coming inside or actually receiving the ball in this region, similar like his header in the previous game that he played. But now the same does not really happen to the other side, because the opposition knows that Alejandro Balde is not that good in one-on-one situations, which we can hope that he will grow in the future to be able to actually exploit the opposition in this region. Now, another thing that we have to remember is that Xavi is also willing, like he did back in the day. If you check out our previous game, you would see that Xavi himself actually dropped into the position over here. If Frankie de Jong is up there wide, Xavi in position or build-up play, he actually drops. If Pedri plays, he's usually the one that drops. That he's not scared, and he's totally willing to have his, even if his most creative players drop very deep, because it's all about control for Xavi in this region right there. And the intricate passes that these guys have now is becoming a real problem for the opposition. Xavi is using the old tiki-taka ways that he used to play in, because him and Iniesta used to drop into the positions over here, and he's not scared to let Xavi and Frankie de Jong also drop into the positions over here. Now, if players or opposition actually mark Sergio Busquets, there's no problem now for Barcelona, because previously the tiki-taka used to be destroyed by opposition totally simply just marking Sergio Busquets. Now we have Xavi dropping, we have Frankie de Jong dropping. So marking these players is no use actually, because they can drop everywhere. And that is what I'm saying about Xavi having a system in place in order to nullify all the tactics of the opposition. And this is a machine that's going to be unstoppable in the future if our players and the technical players and the squad gets upgraded, and this is going to be something to deal with in the future if this keeps on going. One thing we do have to remember is that Xavi knows that he does not have a Barcelona like the one that he played in. So he knows that these players at the moment are not as press resistant as the guys back in the day. If you watch our previous video of Pep Guardiola where Barcelona won 6-2, you can actually see that Barcelona had enough confidence in order to be able to play with a back two, even if they were pressed up with the front two as well. So nowadays, when Barcelona is splitting the centre backs and teams are pressing very well, Barcelona are not scared to be direct anymore. Meaning that if the opposition smother Barcelona enough and commits a lot of players and men forward in order to be able to press Barcelona correctly, Barcelona is not scared now to be able to play the ball, for example, in behind in order to get advantage. This is the directness. In previous years, Barcelona would actually find a way to play through all of this, and Xavi is now able to adapt, and this is the system that he created. So for now, for an example, he's not trying to play through the opposition's press. For an example, especially if they were under pressure or the opposition like in a better position, especially like against Real Madrid, Barcelona now are willing to be able to skip the first wave of pressure and get in behind directly and quickly as well. And this is the great mind of a manager that knows the previous managers that he played for was actually confident where they could actually be able to play through the press and actually get it. But now Xavi knows if he has to go straight to Lewandowski, he's not scared to do that. Even if Ferran Torres is playing over there, he's going to him, playing directness and playing the ball over the top. Sometimes Xavi has created the systems where he now plays the tiki-taka way, or against better teams, if his players are under pressure, he's not scared to be able to go straight directly. That is why Barcelona has not been conceding so many goals like we used to do back in the day. Because if Barcelona would actually try to play the ball around and they lose the ball, the opposition are now actually in Barcelona's half to be able to score a goal. But Barcelona now is not scared to go directly. And the fact that Barcelona now has a ball-playing keeper that's so great, which Xavi persisted to keep and he defended him, is all the more beautiful for Xavi Hernandez. Barcelona are in the high press. They are very lucky to have people like Xavi and Frenkie de Jong who can cover so much space for them. So in the high press, Barcelona normally look to nullify the centre-backs from receiving the ball. Robert Lewandowski now really isn't going onto the centre-back so much. He's actually pressing from an angle in order to get the opposition over onto one side. But now with Xavi and Rafinha, for example, being on the centre-backs, that actually cuts out the one option and the second option as well. So now that he has to be quick thinking because Robert Lewandowski is getting onto him. So a pass into midfield is really the only option for them, as a pass to the fullbacks could totally isolate them as well, because the wingers are covered, meaning everybody has to drop. And of course that makes it easy for Barcelona to drop over to one side as well. In order for this pass to be unsuccessful, this could be very dangerous at the same time for Barcelona. But now Xavi actually has something that he crosses this out with, is having a high press while having a high line at the same time. Now, while all this would be happening, there needs to be pressure on the ball at all times, because if the team can find a pass into midfield, they could be destroying Barcelona. But now, like I said, the likes of Xavi and Frenkie de Jong running so much all over the pitch closes this pitch down and makes it feel like Barcelona now have extra men who can be pressing. We never really see Sergio Busquets joining in a press, but sometimes even he's the one that goes up, and now Barcelona could actually have a numerical advantage. Even if this player dropped in order to receive the ball from the goalkeeper, we do see that Ronald Araujo or Jules Koundé do follow him. So Barcelona will always have a player free. So if a run is made in behind, Barcelona can actually lead the player astray and let him play on one side while everybody is getting back. Now this is a very unique way of pressing, and that is Xavi has perfected this, and this is really easy. And Barcelona actually gets into the normal 4-4-2. You would obviously know if you do watch our videos like on a weekly basis, but it's really hard for the opposition to get through this pressing phase, and Barcelona recycles the ball, or they are more direct, and that is how Barcelona's pressure basically works.
We have reached the end of this video. Please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed, and also thank you very much for watching this video. We appreciate you guys, and stay tuned for the next video. We're gonna keep uploading, and if you're new around here, like I said, please do subscribe. You're gonna get a lot more Barcelona content like this to discuss our team and our beloved Barca. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.